Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Alex, and I play Pokemon. And so today, I'll be doing my first video for Pokemon, that is, at least. So, I've done some other stuff on YouTube, but I don't want to talk about that. But yeah, I am the coach of the Chicago Chikoritas in a Gen 7 draft league called the SSBL, hosted by Austrian George. So it's pretty cool group of people, and excited. I'm pretty excited to start playing. So we just finished the draft, the drafting process of the league today, I think. Yeah, today. And so just wanted to go over my team, why I picked it, or why I picked what I picked. There we go. And just kind of my overall thoughts. So yeah, let's get started. So the draft was out of 16 people, and it was a snake draft, which means that the number one pick, right, it would go 1 down to 16. I think there were 16 people. Yeah, so it went down to 1 to 16, and then the draft would go back down to the number one spot. So the person who's at 16th would get double pick and would come back down to the first person. So I was very lucky in being able to get the third spot in the draft. And it's really weird because I've been, like, the past 4 drafts I've also gotten third place. I don't know, kind of weird, but whatever, I'll take it. And so my plan with this draft, at least, was to use things that I don't usually use or just haven't used. And so with the number 3 pick, I really wanted Tapu Koko. It's probably one of the best mons in the draft. Like, very solid, good, fast electric type. It's fairy as well. Those are basically 2 essential typings that every single draft wants, and you get it in one Pokemon. You got the great speed here at 130, and it was a kind of a no-brainer pick at 3, but usually when I've tried, to pick it up, it's always gotten, like, picked 1 or 2, and so it fell to me at the 3rd pick, and I took it. I jumped on it, because when else am I going to get a number 3 pick and be able to get Koko? Not very often, so I decided to take it and use the opportunity, right? But yeah, like, Tapu Koko is just a good Pokemon. The ability Electric Surge, basically just giving an extra boost to its electric type moves. So Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Wild Charge, all these moves are going to be doing 1.5 more damage in the electric terrain, which is really cool, and just pretty awesome. It makes it quite powerful. And of course, electric terrain makes it so that Pokemon can't be put to sleep. So it's got some nice utility there against Amoonguss and stuff, and Breloom when they want to use Spore and just be super annoying. But yeah, just looking at Koko's mon, again, it's an electric fairy, it's fast, 130 speed is so good. And the special attack is 95, and you got 115 physical attack. And it really sucks that this doesn't get play rough, but it might be busted with it. I don't know. But all it's got for fairy coverage, I think, is Dazzling Gleam. So a lot of times you'll just see special Tapu Koko, but I mean, T-Bolt does so much damage in the electric terrain because of its ability. So it kind of offsets, the kind of just average 95 special attack that it has. But I mean, Tapu Koko makes up for it in so many other ways. I mean, this thing has some great utility. It has momentum in both Volt Switch and U-Turn, which is great, because you can U-turn out of ground types. This thing also gets really solid coverage. On the physical side, you got Brave Bird, which is actually pretty good because a lot of grass types, most grass types, right, they resist electric, and so you can kind of take advantage of that. You can make Tapu Koko a Z-Mon and just go Z Brave Bird, boom, grass Pokemon, gone. Not as simple as that, but you get the idea. It's pretty good, and then you still got stuff like your hidden powers. Mainly it's going to be HP Ice because Bolt Beam coverage is really good. And you also get Grass Knot. for some of those annoying water ground type Pokemon like Seismitoad. So don't kill me, George. Don't kill me. Oh, but yeah, that's Tapu Koko. It also gets screens, defog, gets roost, calm mind to set up. Nature's Madness is basically just a better Super Fang, 90% accurate with a Z. I think it does 75% if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Coco is just a good mon. I think I've said it enough. I've said it too much, or I've been talking about it a bit too much now. Oh god, that's embarrassing. But going to my next pick, I'm gonna do these in order. And I know you guys see it, but whatever. What are you gonna do? I picked Mega Medicham. I was thinking of things that would like Coco's electric terrain. I want there to be some synergy between the Pokemon. And so I thought Mega Medicham would be really, really good. Because, it gets T-Punch. So bulky waters, I think something like Milotic with a Flame Orb and Marvel Scale. Might want to try and switch into this, I don't know. But T-Punch getting that boost by the electric terrain helps it get some KOs. Not sure exactly which KOs, but I'm assuming it does. So take that as you will. But yeah, Mega Medicham is just so strong, man. It's so strong. Pure Power just doubling its 100 base attack is absolutely insane. I think the only thing with higher attack is Mega Mawile with 105. But one thing that this has over Mega Mawile, of course, is the 100 base speed, which is really, really good. I mean, basically every single draft wants at least one Pokemon at base 100, just because it's such a common speed tier, and it forces your opponent to run their base 100s at 100. It's an important speed tier, so that's pretty good. And then you got average defenses at 85, 60 HP. Nothing too special, but I mean, get 200, 100 base attack doubled, hits so freaking hard, and this thing has some really hard hitting stab in high jump kick, which is 130 base power. It's a nuke. It's an actual freaking nuke. And then Zen Headbutt's pretty good at stab. You got T-Punch, you got Ice Punch. And then this thing also gets priority. I mean, if it got Mach Punch, oh my gosh, this thing would be broken, in my opinion. But it gets Fake Out and Bullet Punch. So, just click Fake Out, you get a nice chunk of damage. It's not like your regular Fake Out that does like 5%, maybe. No, this thing just like takes 15 off Pokemon, like it's nothing. But yeah, this thing gets Sub, Bulk Up, even a Calm Mindset. Something to think about. But yeah, I thought it would just pair very well with Tapu Koko, because Coco's obviously going to help it with the T-Punch, boosting the power of that in electric terrain, but also Tapu Koko's got momentum and U-turn and Volt Switch, and I wanted a good wall breaker to be able to bring in off of those U-turns and those Volt Switches. So that's my reasoning and why I picked Mega Medicham. I think it's a good pick. And to complete sort of what is my offensive core for the team, I took Hydreigon as my third overall pick. I think Hydreigon is a pretty good Dragon-type Pokemon. It's really scary. I faced it quite a bit. I've helped a lot of people team build who have had this, and I gotta say, it's pretty good. It's kind of got everything I want in a good offensive Pokemon. It's got really, really good base stats. 105, physical attack is really good. I'm sorry if the screen's all over. I don't really know. I'm just talking and scrolling. So sorry about that. But yeah, 105 attack, it's decent. It's got stuff like Crunch, Outrage, of course, Super Power, and my favorite move, personally, U-turn. It's great. And then you still got Roost, so you can run bulky sets and have that good, reliable recovery. I think you get Taunt. I might be mistaken. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. I don't care. But it also gets a Defog as well, which is really, really nice. And the fact that it gets Levitate as an ability kind of helps offset the ground weakness that I have with Tapu Koko. But really, it's all about that 125 special attack. And just the amount of coverage this thing gets. You got just stab Dracos that absolutely nuke things. You got Dark Pulse, Flash Cannon, Earth Power, Flamethrower, Fire Blast. You got Focus Blast. You get, like, it's just really, really good coverage. And again, the main reason I kind of took this, I'm not gonna lie, was because U-turn. Being able, you know, to just gain momentum. I don't know, that's just the way I like to play, so. And then 98 base speed. Like, I wish it was 100, but at the same time, it's okay. Because this will outspeed a really common speed tier at 95. You see a lot of Pokemon there. Like Turner Black, for example, so we're able to outspeed those. Obviously, base 100s are able to outspeed us, but it's not too big of a problem. Hydreigon is also a good Scarfer. You know, I could always make that speed a bit better. There's always that. I think it gets work up too. So you can actually kind of set up, which is kind of funny. So, yeah, so there's Hydreigon, and also it completes the Dark Fighting Psychic offensive core that a lot of teams draft. I mean, let's be real, every team has a Dark Fighting and a Psychic type. Whether you use them offensively or defensively, it's up to you, but I like it offensively, being able to take Ghost types, which can be really annoying, stuff like Cofagrigus. And again, just being a Dragon type in general is really, really good. Oh, and going back to the Dark type thing, you kind of need something for bulky Psychics, because every team drafts a bulky Psychic. When you got stuff like Megalopony, which was drafted, and when you got aforementioned Mega Medichams. Right, so, you know, people are going to be bringing their Psychic type Pokemon against me, and what better way to take advantage of that than having a really, really strong Dark type in Hydreigon. So, that's Hydreigon there for you. And so, at this point in the draft, I was thinking I wanted to get Rain. I mean, I see a lot of Rain teams, in OU at least. I don't know, it was low ladder, I'm not good at laddering on Smogon. And I was like, you know, Tapu Koko gets used in that, maybe I'll do Rain or something. Because I like that kind of playstyle. Like, my favorite team is Sun, so Mega Houndoom, yo, got it right. So I really wanted Ferrothorn because I also wanted a Grass type, and I wanted a Steel type to complete my Fairy Dragon Steel core, which is pretty essential to almost every single draft. I mean, you don't necessarily have to follow it by the rules all the time, but it's really good to have. Steel is an amazing typing. Ferrothorn is an amazing Pokemon, only being weak to 2 types in fighting and fire, 4 times weak to fire, but that got sniped like 2 picks before me, which really sucked. So I went to my backup, which was Fortress. It's actually kind of very similar in a way to Ferrothorn, except that it's only 4 times weak to fire, which is pretty cool. So it's got a ton of resistances, which is great. But yeah, it gives me, like, actually a lot more that, like, I personally want in a Pokemon than Ferrothorn would. You know, Ferrothorn is great, don't get me wrong. It's super bulky, especially physically. You know, it's got great moves in Leech Seed, Stealth Rock, Spice, all that good stuff, right? But Fortress gets Full Switch and gets Rapid Spin, and it gets Stealth Rocks, Spikes, and Toxic Spikes. Like, I don't know. I feel like I was lucky that Ferrothorn got sniped for me, because I wouldn't have ended up with Fortress, and I actually ended up really liking Fortress on this team. And I drafted really heavy offense my first 3 picks, and now I need to, you know, reel it back in. I don't want to go hyper offense. I hate hyper offense. I need some bulk. I need some more pivots. Fortress is that. I need the hazards. Fortress gives me that. Gives me more momentum. I've got now 3 Pokemon with either U-turn or Volt Switch, which is great for getting in stuff like Mega Medicham and Hydreigon. It's gonna be great. So really like it. You know, 75 HP with 140 physical defense, pretty good. 65 special defense is pretty bad, but we can work with it. I'm willing to take it. HP fires are going to be doing a lot. You know, just slap it on there, but in the rain, that damage is going to be cut in half, so it works out just kind of like Ferrothorn, but I think better in the end. And so with my next pick, going forward, I needed the Rain Setter if I was going to do Rain. So I picked up Pelipper, and at first I didn't know exactly why I want Pelipper other than the rain. It's like, well, it's a decent Pokemon. Like, you know, it's got 100 base defense, you know? And someone's rain, right? So, one thing I will say that I kind of don't like about my draft, it's a bit iffy for me, is that Pelipper is my bulky water. I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't. So, I feel like I might struggle in that department a bit, just because it's not as solid of a defensive backbone as I would like for a team, and what I want for a bulky water. Something like Milotic or Suicune or Rotom Wash. God, I love Rotom. But yeah, I figured it would still work pretty well. It gives me rain, which is great because I can use a Swift Swim Abuser and just kind of go to town on people with that. Which, as you can see, is Ludicolo, but we'll get there. Don't worry. But another thing it gets is Defog. I got now 3 Pokemon with Defog, and I got a Rapid Spinner, and it's another Pokemon with U-Turn. So I'm happy. I got my pivots, I got my hazard removal, I got my hazard stack. Feeling good. Feeling pretty good. So with my next pick, there's the one thing I kind of needed in terms of essential types, right? I got my offensive Pokemon, I got all that stuff that I just mentioned, right? What thing I didn't have is a ground type. And ground types go fast because every team wants a ground type because every team wants an immunity to the electric types, like Tapu Koko, so I need to grab one. And for some reason, Nidoqueen was just available. I don't know why, and like Nidoqueen is great. And Nidoking too, and Nidoking got like picked around 11 or something, I think, by someone, I'm not sure who. But yeah, I took Nidoqueen, I was like, this is a no-brainer. I get a amazing bulky mon with 90 HP, right, 87 defense, 85 special defense, which is pretty good. But then I get Sheer Force on top of that, so it's got some of that versatility that I really like. I think versatility is kind of the name of the game in draft format. Like, if your opponent doesn't know what you're going to bring every single week, and you're keeping them on your toes, then that's always a plus, that's always an advantage for you in team building. So, you know, it's like, am I bringing defensive or am I bringing offensive? It gives me that option. Obviously, it's not the best defensive mon, right? Like, its stats aren't through the roof. It's not the best offensive mon. Its offensive stats are not through the roof. You know, only 76 base speed. Like, that's bad if you really want like a fast Pokemon, right? But for a wall break or Sheer Force, it's actually pretty good because there's a lot of Pokemon that fall right at 75. So it's a pretty good speed tier for where it's at. But it also gave me a grounded poison, which is kind of something that teams look and strive to get. It's not exactly a necessity, really, but it absorbs T-Spikes, and T-Spikes can be really, really annoying for teams. So, yeah, and Nidoqueen's also, at this point, like, my best fighting resist. Fortress, obviously, does not resist it because it's part steel, so it's neutral. This gives me something for something, like Megalopony, for example. So, I felt great getting Nidoqueen. I've used Nidoqueen in the past, and I really, really enjoyed it, and so I thought it was a really solid mon for my squad. Obviously, it doesn't get U-Turn or Volt Switch, which is kind of a bummer, but I can deal with it. Can't have everything with U-Turn, so I kind of took my losses there. Now my next pick, I don't know which round this is anymore. I think, yeah, this is my, okay, 7th round. I took Talonflame. And I know George is going to be salty about this, but because I took it, he really wanted this for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. It's a good mon in my opinion, but I've never used it in Draft League before, so I really wanted to use it, and I remember so many fond memories back in Gen 6 when that first came out of using Talonflame. It was great. I remember using it in my X and Y playthrough. I think Talonflame is just such a cool Pokemon, personally. But really, the main reason I took it was for the speed tier at 126. So, at this point, my team is kind of slow. I have 130 with Tapu Koko, and then I drop all the way down to 100 with my Medicham. So, I wanted to start bridging the gaps of the speed tiers a little bit between those two Pokemon. And, like, speed tiers are, I think, in my opinion, are especially important. 100 and above, right? You want stuff to hit there because a lot of teams also get it, so you want to force them to hit that speed tier. And so I felt like Talonflame would really, really help me against stuff that is 125, so stuff like Swallow, stuff like Weavile, Alakazam, you know, base 115s, all of that stuff, 110s. I'm able to outspeed, but it forces like fast mons like Mega Arrow, Mega Zam to run speed or my Talon Flame. So that's kind of the primary reason for it. But also, it's pretty good offensively. 81 attack with SD, not too bad. And you got powerful stat in Brave Bird and Flare Blitz, which is pretty good. And I think it's a fire type that can actually function in rain. Like most of the time when you're bringing Talon Flame, it's not usually for the fire stab. It's usually for just spamming Brave Bird or acrobatics. But I feel like out of the other fire types, like Water, Pyro, and more and stuff, like I felt they were either too slow, they give me the speed tier, probably weren't the greatest in rain. I know Talon Flame isn't either, but I feel like if it could do it, I feel like it was the Pokemon for the team, really. It also gave me pretty good utility. There was a Stall Breaker set that I remember playing with in Gen 6 OU with like Taunt, Roost, and obviously now Gale Wings, you don't have like priority Roost anymore, which kind of sucks. But you still get stuff like Taunt, Will-O-Wisp. You still got Roost there for recovery, and the most important aspect of it is the fact that I get U-turn. So yeah, it's great mon. I really just wanted it for that. No other fire type gave me U-turn at that point in the draft, or that speed tier. So it was like a perfect fit for my team. I felt like so. There's Talon Flame. With my next pick, I decided I needed more bulk. I need more bulk. And I realized looking at my team, I don't really have the greatest fighting switch. And Nidoqueen is okay, right? But I was thinking specifically in terms of Megalopony, because I know I got drafted and that's a threat. It gets Ice Punch, and Return is neutral, and Nidoqueen, it's bulky, but it's not that bulky, 90 HP with 87 defense, it's pretty good. Don't get me wrong. It's workable. It's good. The typing is good. It's there. I just wanted something a bit more substantial, and so I took Uxie with 75 HP and 130 in both defenses. I felt like it was exactly what I needed. Offensively, not that great. 75 special attack. It's just height, but you also get 95 speed, so you can speed creep some stuff. So I always like some speed, right? But again, mainly for the typing, right? Levitate also as well. It's pretty good. If you look at my draft, I got Nidoqueen and Go-Go. That's it. It's all that's weak to ground at this point. So I got my ground weakness pretty covered up with either just straight up immunities or Levitate mons. I got 2 of those, which is pretty good. But again, the main reason for Uxie really was U-turn. I love U-turn. So it gets U-turn, it gets Stealth Rocks, so this allows me to not run rocks every single week on Fortress. I can run something like Spikes, I can run Stealth Rock on Uxie, and something like Toxic Spikes on Nidoqueen. So it doesn't force those mons into a role. It can assume that if it wants to, it also gets knockoff and stuff. I think it gets Flamethrower, it gets some good coverage. So yeah, it's overall really solid mon, and I was kind of on the fence between either Uxie or Mesprit, because Mesprit's got basically just base 105 all across the board, and 80 in HP, 80 speed or something like that. And I was like, well, I can be a bit more versatile. It can have some offense present, but I was like, screw it. That's not really what I want right now. I just need some bulk. So I took Uxie. I'm really happy with it. It's got everything I want in mon, and exactly what I needed for this team. So now at this point, what is it? I don't know what pick it is anymore. I don't care. I took Porygon Z. I wanted another Pokemon that could wall break on the special side. So in tandem with Mega Metacham, I could also take advantage of Tapu Koko's electric train that it sets up, and I figured Porygon Z was a good choice. It's got Bolt Beam coverage, T-Bolt, Ice Beam. Obviously, it's got a nasty plot. And, normal spam is the thing. Boom Burst is such a good move, and this thing is Tri-Attack, so I figured, why the hell not? Really, that's kind of what it boiled down to, and it also gave me a Pokemon at a 90 speed, which previously I didn't exactly have before. The closest I had was 98. This gives me a 90, so pretty good there. And again, it's got adaptability, download, analytic, all of them great abilities. Probably usually gonna tailor towards adaptability, but like download too, just for every single move that I can run, and it gets Trick Room as well. I mean, there's a lot of things to like about Porygon Z, and there wasn't too much else I was really keen on taking, and I feel like this was the best fit available at that point. So that's kind of why I took it. Like, I'm not too excited about Porygon Z. I think it'll put in some work in some matches, but I don't think it's like a bring every sort of week type of mon, if you know what I mean. So yeah, Porygon Z. There you go. For my last 2 picks, I needed a grass type. I've got some good immunities. Right, I've got Uxie, Talonflame, Pelipper, Hydreigon, all of them are immune to EQ. But I wanted to resist, so I took Ludicolo. And it's pretty good Rain Abuser with Swift Swim. And it's also got Rain Dish as well, so like AB Rain Dish? Yeah, just saying. Could be a thing, right? So, 90 special attack isn't the greatest, but like you put a Life Orb on there, or Choice Specs, and Hydro Pumps are doing insane amount of damage in the rain. Like, insane damage. And it's pretty close to what Kingdra is in terms of power, essentially. Kingdra, I think, is 95, so pretty similar in that way, but I think this has a bit more utility, just because it does get Rain Dish, and it can run defensive sets, and I really like the type. Being a water grass type means I'm not weak to grass as a water type, I'm not weak to electric, right? So I don't have to compound weaknesses, specifically with Pelipper, really. So like, I think the only thing that that Ludicolo is weak to, I think, is poison, bug, flying, and it's also resistant to, or it's neutral to fire. So it's pretty good defensive typing, I feel like, So there's my 2 cents. I really like Ludicolo. Tier 40, really cheap, really good. I didn't want Chikoritas just because I already had a lot of physical attackers. And All-Star is like, well, I mean, it gives me spikes, rapid spin, right? But I already have all of that that does it better. And it doesn't get rock stab, like special rock stab outside of ancient power, but it's ancient power, so I stuck with Ludicolo. And for my last pick, I took Lycanroc Midday. It's a rock type. Rock offensively is a pretty good typing right now in the ocean, actually. In another league I'm using Aerodactyl and Rhyperior. Both of them are on the squad, and I just love spamming rock type attacks, because very few teams have good resists, for the most part. Like, it's usually just like one steel type, and if it's steel type, like, okay, well, there's going to be 2 teams with, either Mega Scizor or regular Scizor. There's going to be one with Fortress, aka mine, there's going to be one with Skarmory, Race, Steel, and it's like, all of those take neutral from rock. They have a Heatran, takes neutral from rocks, from rock type stab, and so just spamming Stone Edge is pretty good. I also think Mega Pinsir got drafted. Not entirely too sure, but I think it did. So, having a stab rock priority in Excel Rock is pretty damn good. And so yeah, that's basically just kind of why I took it. It's a rock type. It was fast. It was cheap. I felt like it'd be better than All-Star. Like, I don't need 2 Rain Abusers. So that's kind of my reasoning for Lycanroc Midday, and 112 just helps the speed tiers from 130 to 126, 112, and then I hit 100, right? So it just kind of helps out in that regard. And it gets rocks too. It gets pretty decent coverage and SD and whatnot. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the draft. Some like criticism I've gotten from other people and friends is that I'm not relying on rain. And I don't think that's really a problem with my draft, because I don't think you need to rely on your weather. I feel like if you rely on your weather every single week, it just becomes a bit predictable. Like, yeah, he's definitely Brandon Pelipper and like Ludicolo, that stuff, right? I didn't want to do that. Because I've done that before with Sun. My first ever league, I drafted Mega Houndoom and Torkoal, and I built a Sun team. And it was really, really bad. I mean, I almost made playoffs at 6-5, but like, literally all I had going on in that team was terrible synergy backup. Like, it was just bad. Looking back on it, it was bad. But all I had going for me on that team, kind of like my way of winning every single week, was just let Mega Doom go ham on someone's team. And it worked quite a bit, but when it didn't work, it really didn't work, and I just wish I had another team, really, the other part of my team to kind of be able to pick up the slack where I felt like Sun wouldn't be good. Because there were a lot of matchups where I'd be like, well, yeah, Sun is not the best, but I don't have anything better, so let me just put this up. It was just bad. So I don't want to do that again. I rebuilt my Sun team, actually, for my first season in my other league, and now I completely revamped it. Like, it's literally just, it doesn't matter. Basically, I had a lot more success with the Sun team when I built a decent team around it, and it wasn't just built around Sun, right? So I don't have to bring it every week. I'm not pressured to do that. And I've done much better as a result. I went from 6-5 to 9-3, right? And making playoffs, not missing them. Right, so I think it was like, there's not necessarily anything wrong with just maining, right? It's rain. Rain's probably the best one out of all the weather stuff that you can do, right? But that's with Mega Swampert. You don't want Mega Swampert. Anyways, I think my team is pretty good. I give it a solid A-. I don't know, maybe A+. I mean, I'm just saying, I've got Rapid Spin. I've got a bunch of defoggers. I've got a bunch of momentum. I've got a plethora of offensive threats for people to, lose nights of sleep over. Not really. If you are, don't do that. Why? It's just Pokemon. But yeah, I think it's a pretty solid squad. Tell me guys what you guys think. And yeah, that has been me talking about Pokemon like a weirdo. So, I hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe. Oh my God, I thought I would say that. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. See ya.